When you get in your body vehicle, does your fat loss need a jump start? When you go to turn over the fat loss in your body, does it go, yay? Well, today we're going to go over that, okay? I'm going to give you 5 tips. 5 tips. But you guys stay till the end. No, I'm just kidding. It's a secret. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm going to give you 5 tips today to jumpstart your fat loss program. So basically 5 things that you can use to push past a fat loss plateau and trudge on to victory, folks. So welcome to the School of Shred. This is the one and only, the almighty. This is the school, but it's also the show that's designed to help you shred your old and make better your new. And it is 105 degrees in my office right now because I have the heater on. I just realized that. So anyway, welcome to episode 107. You know where to find the show on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Shout out to Instagram. And then we also have Spotify and who else we got? We got iTunes out there. Shout out to iTunes. Go on iTunes, search The School of Shred. You can take the school on the show for your daily dose of health and fitness. These shows are 10 to 15 minutes long, sometimes 30 minutes long, and 5 days a week. And these are here to give you quick hits on everything from spirit to environmental health to recovery to exercise to diet, right? We kind of hit it all. At the School of Shred, it's a 5-part curriculum that I have that students go through, and it's spirit, habitat, recovery, exercise, diet. And so we kind of hit on all those. The idea being holistic health and fitness, because the physical cascades out into the mental, which cascades out into the spiritual. So all systems are connected. So today we're going to talk about losing body fat, though. Losing body fat, a lot of us want to do it. It's important for a lot of reasons. When you're losing body fat, it shows that you're insulin sensitive. It shows that your body's working correctly and the machinery is not gunked up. So if you are dieting and you're in a fat loss plan and you quit losing weight, so I've talked about before, the best way to measure your results if you're trying to lose body fat is a 7-day body weight average. So every 7 days, you add up your body weights for each day. All right, so you do Monday, get your AM body weight, urinate for the first time, but urinate for the first time of the day. Take that down in your notes. Do that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every Monday, you add those numbers up, divide them by 7. That's your 7-day average. Track that number. If you're not losing at least 1% of your body weight per week, then you can look at a jump start. And these jump starts, the first one is to double your carb intake for 1 to 2 days. So this is known as a carb refeed. These got big about 5 years ago. People were talking a lot about these. There was a lot of it going around on the internet. And so basically what this does is there's a hormone called leptin that signals to the brain basically body fat storage, where you're at. And so what happens when leptin is high is all systems are a go. And what I mean by that is your body is telling your brain, this leptin is signaling from the fat tissue to the brain to release fat for energy so you can burn body fat. So the higher your leptin levels, the more body fat you can burn. Because the higher your leptin levels, the more this hormone is telling your brain you have body fat so you can burn it. The lower leptin levels get, fat loss plateaus. So if you are, within means you're trying to lose some body fat, you're not, you don't have leptin resistance, which is an issue that comes with obesity. So say it's working properly and you get to a point where you have a plateau. One thing that you can do is spike your carbohydrates, because carbohydrates, of all 3 macronutrients being protein, fat, and carbs are the one that leptin is most responsive to. So you can actually spike leptin levels. And it's like taking 1 step back to take 2 steps forward. You might have a little bit of water weight the next day, but then 2 days later, you might start to notice it kickstarts things, and you replenish this leptin hormone and leptin signaling. Carbs do that really well. So if you're eating carbs with every meal, say if you were tracking, you could do, you go from 150 to 300 grams a day. That's what I used to do, and I would track a lot. When I have clients that track, it makes it easy. I just have them double their carb intake, keep the fats the same, keep the protein the same. If you are an eyeballer, or you do what we call at the school the mono method, people who are watching this can see all the little shapes I'm making. If you're doing the mono method where you kind of just eyeball, and say you have a potato, you have whatever it is. Say you have a potato with lunch and a potato with dinner. You could have 2 potatoes with lunch and 2 potatoes with dinner. Now I know that that's like, oof, wow, that's a lot, but that's a very simple example of what doubling your carb intake would look like if you were eyeballing it. So, or you could just eat ad libitum, just find low fat, high carb sources for 1 to 2 days, right? If you listen to this show, you know I am a huge proponent of fat. I love dietary fat. It's primarily what I fuel my body off. But when you're doing this stuff, you're trying to keep fats low and spike carbs up pretty high, all right? So it's a little bit different. So doubling your carb intake, which is a refeed day. So you do a refeed day for 1 to 2 days to replenish leptin to help you jumpstart your fat loss. Number 2 is increase steps by 5,000 per day. By 5,000 per day. So this is gets your general activity up in a non-stressful way to your nervous system. So, and the reason I'm going with steps here as opposed to add a workout is because this is assuming that you're already getting after it with resistance workouts, and maybe adding another resistance workout might stress the nervous system out too much. It might be maybe you're already working out 3 to 5 days a week. That might not be the answer. So you could look at increasing steps by 5,000 per day. So if you were stepping 5 or 10 grand a day, you go to 15 grand. You could certainly try 2,500, but you can really get it done if you go up to 5,000. And so that modification is great, and that will compound over your week. They say 2,000 steps is typically about a mile, obviously depending on your stride length and all of that good stuff. And a mile is about 100 calories. So if you're increasing this, you're looking at about 200 calories, 250 calories a day, which is going to be about half a pound a week with that whole fancy equation that we like to talk about, which is 500 calorie deficit per day equals 3,500 calories per week, which equals a pound of fat. But the only time that equation is going to be right is when your body's working correctly, because I've had clients, I'm here to tell you, I've learned that in textbooks, and I've had clients and that does not work. That's simple math, because when hormones aren't working correctly, the system gets gunked up. But movement is medicine. So adding 5,000 steps per day, it can work for you. It's worked for my clients, and it's worked for myself as well. I love the step thing. I'm a huge fan of the step thing. If you don't know that by this point, I love steps. I love my walks. I actually today I already got, 9 o'clock right now. I got 10,000 steps in already. I leverage that time to learn. I call it learn and burn. You could do that too. Make your steps something you look forward to doing by listening to something positive, uplifting, or entertaining, or whatever it is. If it's your putter time of the day where you're just being entertained, try to leverage that time while you're walking. So anyway, that's number 2, is increase steps by 5,000 per day to jumpstart your fat loss. Number 3 is add a nutritious meal to help speed up the metabolism. So it's been well shown in human studies. If you want to look at a lot of human studies, go ahead and get a book called The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung. This shows it's only human studies that are quoted in this book. It's a great book, fabulous book. I love it. So there's Obesity Code and the Diabetes Code. He wrote 2 books. So anyway, but it's been shown over and over in human studies that when we reduce caloric intake, we reduce caloric burn. Less in, less out. Okay, this law of thermodynamics that we all like to talk about so much, where you just need to eat less and exercise more, doesn't really work long term. It can work short term, but what happens is long term, the body will produce less heat energy. Okay, it will produce less energy in your cardiovascular system by lowering your blood pressure. You can get cold. What happens is you basically start to lose functions in your body if you drop your calories too low. And then furthermore, you also lose motivation to actually be active. Have you ever noticed how when you eat a lot of calories, the next day or 2 or week, you're like ramped up for exercise? You're re-energized. You want to work out really hard. That's what's supposed to happen. And that's because you got extra calories coming. It speeds the metabolism up, so you actually burn more calories. So this is very interesting right here, because this is, again, nutrition and fat loss is not so simple. You can do it, but it's not so simple as this binary thing that we've been taught, which is we're all just lazy. We just need to exercise more and eat less. Sometimes there's a lot more going on. And adding a nutritious meal can actually speed the metabolism up, and that can actually help you metabolize the food and go expend more energy. And you might not even realize it. You'll expend more energy through heat energy, like I talked about. You might expend more energy through all sorts of different means. You could sweat more. You could be inspired to go work out more. You could be inspired to go rearrange one of the rooms in your house. It's hard to track what happens, but it does happen. I notice when I'm eating more, I am like much more active and want to do little things. Like I don't want to sit down. When I'm in a deep deficit and I'm trying to over exercise, which I've done in the past, I've done this for many years. I've done this and had to learn from this, of getting hard exercise in, getting a sprint workout in, then getting a lifting workout in later in the day. But the rest of the time, I just want to sit on the couch. That is now, we know that that's what happens. Your body's trying to tell you to chill out if you're going too low on the calories. So if you've been doing a certain amount of calories, you've been consistent, try adding another meal for 1 to 2 weeks and see if that speeding up the metabolism can actually help kind of replenish all the hormones in your body and get your body to a happy state. We don't want to fight our body to lose fat. We want to work with it. That's a big one. I'm going to say that again. We don't want to fight our body to lose fat and force it into submission. We want to work with it. Why do you want to work with it? Because it leads to long-term health. Leads to long-term health and fitness. So when you lose the fat, you don't have to worry about it again. This is why when clients get with me, it's the last fat loss program that they'll ever endure. Because of things like this, you learn how to fish. I don't fish for you. Okay. So that's number 3, is add a nutritious meal. Something I'll say on that is, I'm a big proponent of fasting. I like exploring fasting, but had a client recently, older gal, and only eating 1 meal a day. And so there's this interesting thing, which is like, I eat 1 meal a day. It works really well for me for all the autophagy stuff. I don't always do it, but I just enjoy doing that now. I've been fasting for several years, and it's just slowly led into the OMAD diet, which is 1 meal a day, one giant meal. But I have this client who has been doing 1 meal a day and not getting the result that she wants. And so I added a meal, and by adding a meal, she starts losing weight. And when I was studying thyroid function in this nutritional medicine course that I took, it was talked a lot about that, of like getting the body into the swing. There's a lot of these functions that we need to get correct in the body, like thyroid function, adrenal function, gut health, detoxification, and methylation. We have a lot of these things that we need to be working correctly. And so sometimes adding a meal or having meal frequency, having 3 meals throughout the day consistently when you've been doing 1, sometimes that's actually good for the adrenals. It can de-stress the body a little bit. And then as we de-stress the body, what happens? Cortisol goes down. We can start to metabolize and recover. And when we recover, the side effect of that is that we speed up our metabolism. So the human body is fascinating. This is a lifetime area of study for me, is just how interesting the body is. So somebody might be doing what we would call right. That's why we got to be careful about what we call correct, because this lady was doing 1 meal a day, but my hypothesis was that she might be having some altered thyroid function and some adrenal function issues going on. And so by adding that meal, lo and behold, it sped things up. So something to think about, which is going to lead into number 4, which is to jumpstart fat loss, intermittent fast, or do 1 meal a day for a week or 2. Try that. So now if you've been doing meal frequency and maybe you've been eating a lot and you've been able to lose weight and you've been feeling really good, but now your fat loss is plateaued, now maybe try a time-restricted feeding window, okay? Time-restricted feeding window where you are eating all of your day's worth of, or your day's calories within an 8-hour time frame, and then you fast and do nothing but water and coffee, black coffee, with a little cream if you need to, for 16 hours. Tea is also okay. You can have tea, not sugary tea, regular tea. You can have regular tea during a fast. So anyway, 16-hour fast, 8-hour feeding period. Do however you like. That's a good intermittent fast way. There's a lot of ways to intermittent fast. That is not the only way. 16-8 method is not synonymous with intermittent fast. There's a lot of ways to do it. There's 24-hour fast. There's, you make what you want of it. Fasting is basically going without. So the other way that you could do is the OMAD diet, which is, this could be a good challenge, but this could also be seen as more of a, you could call this a fad if you want to label me as passing that type of information out, but this stuff is fun to explore sometimes, which is an OMAD diet for a week or 2, where fat loss is plateaued. You go, you know what? I'm only going to eat 1 meal a day for a week. 1 meal a day. Now, is it a tiny meal? No. You eat a big meal. You eat a big, nutritious meal. Big salad, meat, fat, butter, all the grass-fed butter you can get. No, but eat these big meals. Give yourself 3 hours to digest that meal before bedtime, and try that and see if that changes things. This is has worked for me, and it's worked for clients in the past. And so I'm just sharing different ways that you could jumpstart your fat loss. So that's number 4 is intermittent fast, or try OMAD, the 1 meal a day for a week or 2. And if you like it, you keep doing it. It's up to you. Number 5 is the last one of the day. And this is create a sleep schedule. Nothing will make you drop water weight and inflammation like a good night of sleep, man. I'm telling you, this is key. A good night of sleep. You want to jumpstart your fat loss. This is why I got it as number 5, because I want to talk about this left. You want to jumpstart your fat loss. You make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Furthermore, a sleep schedule. That's what I said. Create a sleep schedule. A sleep schedule would be you go to bed and you get up at the same time every single day. You get your body into circadian rhythm. You train your body for certain hormone spikes throughout the day. That's what you do when you have a sleep schedule, is you train cortisol production, you train testosterone production, because what is a circadian rhythm? If you look this thing up, it is a rhythm that your body goes through. It's like a wave of energy going from parasympathetic, rest and digest, to sympathetic, which is a fight or flight responses. You have these waves and you have these brain waves, and you can train your body to get into a groove if you go to bed at the same time, you get up at the same time. So this is a very, very important thing. But you can also just get a 9-hour night of sleep if you feel like fat loss is plateaued. So those are different ways that you can go about it. The sleep could always be improved. There's always something you could do. You got blackout curtains. You got cool in the room. You got trying to nap. You got whatever you could possibly do. Blocking blue light before bed. Keeping a dim house. All sorts of stuff right there that can help you hack your sleep over time. It's worth looking at, because it's one of the most important things for your health and fitness is a good sleep routine and a good recovery routine. And recovery, the cornerstone of recovery is sleep. Okay. And I'm going to give you a bonus. So you guys want a bonus? Hey, if you guys want a bonus, I need participation, man. I'm tired of people just sitting back getting free information. Hey, throw me a flex emoji here, Instagram. Let's see it. Come on. Let's see it. We got YouTube. We got Facebook. Let's see a flex emoji. Let's go. Come on. You guys want another one? Do you want one more? I've given out 5. From the bottom of my heart, I've given you 5 tips today. If you want one more, let me know with the flex emoji. I'm just going to go home. Wait, I already am home. You get the idea. All right. There we go. We got Instagram. Instagram, throw me a flex emoji if you want one more tip. I'm going to wait. People who are listening to this after the fact and be like, oh man, all right, there we go. Instagram, we got it. Good. It's funny how I actually see people jumping off of the live on Instagram because they get scared when you start coming at them. Hey, make them a little nervous, John. All right, good. There we go. All right, we got some folks playing along now. Good. All right, cool. Facebook's playing along. All right. All right. So the bonus is hydrate. So water helps flush excess inflammation to get rid of fat. So this is a big one. I use this a lot whenever I feel that I'm not losing body fat how I want to. I'm not as lean as I want to. I'm thinking like, I usually think about water and then it's like sleep. I usually think about like, okay, I got to start getting like at least a gallon of water down a day to just start increased diuresis, where your body actually gets rid of water. That's a big one, is just drinking a lot of water. It's been a thing that I have used for almost 10 years. And my own fat loss pursuits and gaining muscle is a lot of water. I used to be the guy carrying the jug around the gym. I don't do that anymore, but I do have a big ass water bottle that I fill up 3 times a day, and it's like 50 fluid ounces. But water is a great tool that you can use to flush excess weight and flush excess water. Again, increase diuresis on the body, which is you'll start peeing a lot, but it can help dry you out quite a bit. And it's also just very good for you. It's very good for your muscles. Your muscles are around 70% water. So, most of the glycogen that's stored in the muscle is a water matrix. So water is very important. So that is your bonus, is hydrate. So how would you hydrate? A lot of times I'll give people the loose recommendation of a gallon a day. and that can be a great one. But 15 milliliters per pound of body weight, and then you take that big number, and maybe it's 2,700 milligrams of water. That's 2.7 liters of water, and so that's about a gallon. So do that conversion. I've talked about that before. I've continually gave this one out for free to try and add value to you and give you your kind of water intake where you should be getting that from is 15 milliliters per pound of body weight. Convert that into fluid ounces or whatever your preferred measuring device is. So that's it for today. That's Jumpstart fat loss. That's a fat loss jump starter. Okay. So you don't want to get in your fat loss vehicle and hear those where it won't turn over. Okay. We want to turn over the fat, get it ready in the mitochondria, get it used for fuel. And that is episode 107. I want you to stay strong and healthy in body today. Stay relentless and energized in spirit. And stay determined in your pursuits. Out. If you guys want to jump in the School of Shred Online Health Academy and change your life, go to theschoolofshred.com right now. And you can sign up. And you can be in the next class where we can actually have a one-on-one conversation and you can do some talking. So I'm not always doing the talking. You can become a client. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, class is dismissed.